As conflict rages on between Israel and Hamas, we speak with the Consulate General of Israel to the Midwest and a local expert about those caught in the middle of the war.
Plus, a win for tenant rights advocates. The decision from the Wisconsin Supreme Court voting to reduce the length of time eviction records are made public. And in Baraboo, the governor joining an Indigenous Peoples Day celebration while sharing progress being made between his administration and tribal leaders. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. An explosion lights up the sky over Gaza as the conflict between Israel and Hamas carries on. Over the last 3 days, hundreds of Israelis and Palestinians have been killed in attacks which have come by land, air, and sea. Here's a live picture from the western wall of Jerusalem. It is just after 6 in the morning there. It is a spot where thousands of Jews visit each year to pray. One many have been visiting the last few days since both Israel and Hamas has exchanged attacks. The recent attack on Israeli soil is the result of tensions in the Middle East that have persisted since the 1940s. Arman Rahman sat down with the Consulate General of Israel to the Midwest and a local expert on the conflict. Arman?
Yeah, Eric and Charlotte, there are a lot of feelings of resentment and anger on both political sides of this issue, but the bottom line both sides agree on is that ordinary men, women, and children are often the ones caught in the middle.
The past 48 hours have been very devastating for many Israelis.
Surprise has been used to describe the unpredictability of Hamas's attack, and according to the Consul General Yanam Cohen, its intensity.
The scope and the scale is something that is totally unprecedented.
But those that study Middle East foreign policy, like Samer Alatout, argue
it's not a surprise.
The Buttle Sewell professor at UW-Madison, whose family is from Palestine, says as far back as the 1940s, Palestinians in the region have faced oppression, displacement, and violence.
But we don't hear about them. So the issue for me is that it's not unprovoked. It's totally provoked, but the provocations have not been openly discussed.
But he says it doesn't make killing justified.
Those Israelis are, they are, so many of them are my friends. So it's not an easy thing.
Both sides agree those caught in the middle are often civilians.
Suffering is the same, whether it's Palestinian or Israeli.
Other opportunities to support Israel and Israelis, specifically Israelis and Israeli communities that have been destructed. Israeli hospitals, by sending donations, by sending supply. There are designated channels for that.
Alatout says it's time the international community pushes for real solutions.
Policies that are not based on hatred, policies that are not based on the dehumanization of the other.
And of course, there are many real people's lives being affected, and I will talk to them tomorrow due to the time difference.
Armand, thank you. Happening right now in Las Vegas, the Green Bay Packers about to finish their game against the Raiders in Las Vegas. 17-13 that game. The Raiders on top in the fourth quarter. They do have the ball now, do the Packers, with less than 2 minutes to go. NFL broadcast rules prohibit us from showing any highlights while the game is still ongoing. Should be done by the time we get to sports. Andrew Banster will have those highlights in about 20 minutes. Cooler temps around here, but no shortage of sunshine today. Here's meteorologist Jacob Madison, our first warn forecast. Jacob?
Thanks, Eric. Right now we're seeing temperatures, definitely pretty chilly, but considering there's not a lot of wind, it doesn't feel too bad out here. 47 in Madison, most of Dane County in the 40s, and most of our region is in the 40s as well. But a few locations have already dropped into the 30s, and I expect our entire area to drop into the 30s at some point during the overnight hours. Now, backtracking a bit, here are the high temperatures from today, mostly in the 50s. Some places did get close to 60, but these are the temperatures we've seen the last couple of days. We've kind of gotten used to them, and we should continue to get used to them because they're not going to change all that much. Now, I want to backtrack a bit further and talk about the low temperatures this morning, where some places dropped below freezing, especially in the central portion of the state, and we could see more areas drop below freezing tonight. We have another frost advisory in effect for south central and southwestern Wisconsin from 1 a.m. until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, as temperatures will likely drop into the 30s, and we don't need to see temperatures drop to freezing in order to see the frost. So we could see some frost during the morning hours, as those temperatures are going to be cool with clear skies tonight and more sunshine tomorrow. But we do have a good chance of rain for the end of the week where heavy rain is possible. I'll talk more in detail about that coming up a little bit later.
Jacob, thank you. Authorities in rural Lafayette County say a child was killed last night when a pickup truck crashed into an Amish buggy. It happened west of Darlington, less than a half mile from another deadly crash involving an Amish buggy that happened back in June. Last night, a family of 6 was traveling eastbound on Highway 81 towards Darlington when they were hit. The two crashes within months of each other raises questions about highway safety.
State highways, they have a lot of regulations around signage, right? Because they don't want everything, too many signs out there and people aren't paying attention to them and those kind of things. So that really comes down to whether or not, the state is willing to put those signs up.
Several people in that buggy were ejected, suffering serious injuries. The sheriff's office says it does not expect the driver of the pickup truck to face any charges. And in Green Lake County, a teen died after a car ran off the road over the weekend. The single vehicle crash happened on County Highway A near Springbrook Road in Berlin about 9:30 Saturday night. 4 people were in the car at the time. Investigators say the car left the road and crashed into some nearby trees. A 17-year-old from Beaver Dam died at the scene. The others were hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries.
The fight continues at the state capitol over who gets to represent Wisconsinites. In September, GOP lawmakers put through a plan to make sweeping changes to how the legislative districts are drawn. Advocates met at the Capitol today arguing that the changes Republicans are proposing to that map drawing process doesn't go far enough. This is all amid the backdrop of a lawsuit challenging those Republican-friendly maps as unconstitutional.
New tonight, the Wisconsin Supreme Court has voted to reduce the length of time eviction records must be kept public. The court voted 4-3 to cut the record-keeping on CCAP from 20 years to just 2. Tenant rights advocates say the change would help renters with eviction histories since many landlords rely on CCAP to determine whether or not to rent to someone. The Wisconsin Realtors Association and other landlord groups opposed the proposal, saying changing the rules could result in them charging higher rental deposits, a change that negatively affects all renters.
First Lady Jill Biden is back in Wisconsin, staying the night in Green Bay. Here she is arriving there earlier this evening. She joined a Packers watch party hosted by the American Cancer Initiative, speaking about the Biden Cancer Moonshot Initiative, an effort to reduce cancer deaths by 4 million by the year 2047. Tomorrow, she will visit the Menominee Indian Reservation. Governor Evers took part in Indigenous Peoples Day celebrations across Wisconsin earlier today. In Baraboo, the Aldo Leopold Foundation hosted a celebration which honored the story of Chief Yellow Thunder, a 19th century Ho-Chunk leader. When the federal government forced Ho-Chunk people from their lands, Yellow Thunder and others would walk hundreds of miles back to Wisconsin only to face future removals. This happened until he bought permanent land near the Wisconsin River, where he lived until his death in 1874. Governor Evers spoke about how his administration and tribal leaders are working together to further develop on tribal lands.
Over the past few years, we've worked to advance projects to expand affordable housing on tribal lands, unveiled dual language road signs that feature both English and Indigenous languages, and found avenues to diversify tribal revenue by permitting event wagering.
Prior to his stop in Sauk County, the governor was in Oneida. Bay Beach Wildlife Sanctuary honored Indigenous Peoples Day by letting him release a red-tailed hawk into the wild.
A not guilty plea has been entered for a man charged in connection to a murder on Madison's Far East Side. Through his attorney, 32-year-old Devontae Gafford pleaded not guilty to 3 felony charges, one being first-degree intentional homicide as party to a crime. The shooting happened outside an apartment complex on Milwaukee Street back on July 13th. 20-year-old Devon Grant was shot and later died at the hospital. Another man, Mark Parks Jr., faces identical charges to Gafford, but he has yet to be located. A home in the northwest suburbs of Chicago exploded this afternoon. This was in Woodstock. At least 9 other nearby homes also suffered some damage. Fortunately, no one was killed. There was a gas leak nearby at the time of the explosion, but fire officials haven't confirmed if that was the cause.
President Biden is directing his national security team to continue to work with the country to provide whatever support is necessary.
But the White House may need congressional help in the very near future, and that's a bit of a problem right now. Natalie Brand shares why.
The Pentagon has already deployed the USS Gerald Ford to station itself outside of Israel in case it's needed. And the Biden administration says it's prepared to help Israel in any way necessary.
The only things we've said to Israel are that we're here, we've got your back. We want to make sure that you have the support that you need. we want to make sure that you have the assistance that you need.
The U.S. already provides $3 billion in military support each year. But if Israel needs more in time of war, the Biden administration would need approval from Congress.
We should supply and make sure that there's no question and no doubt that Israel will never be overwhelmed when it comes to ammunition.
But the U.S. House can't do anything until Kevin McCarthy is replaced as Speaker. Majority Leader Steve Scalise and Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan are the two leading candidates. The war in Israel is now putting new urgency on the election.
We need to give Israel the time, the space, the resources so that they can win and win decisively.
Neither candidate has enough support to win the speakership, leaving some moderates calling for the House to reinstate McCarthy.
I've said throughout this that I supported Kevin McCarthy. I believe he's the right person to lead.
House Republicans are expected to vote behind closed doors for the new speaker Wednesday morning. Nay. Before bringing the vote to the House floor. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he will run for president as an independent candidate. That ends his challenge to President Joe Biden for the Democratic nomination. Kennedy says he is offering an anti-corruption message, railing against the two-party system and big corporations. He plans to campaign in Texas, Florida, and Georgia later this month. Members of the Writers Guild of America union voted to ratify a new contract with Hollywood and TV studios. 99% of members voted in approval on the new contract, which will run through May 1st of 2026. Actors, though, remain on strike. However, as the Actors Union has been striking since mid-July. More local stories are straight ahead at 10.
An alternative education program in dire need of funding. The services that Operation Fresh Start provides and how much money it's asking for from the school district. That's next.
You've probably heard by now, but Wanakee Remodeling has been transforming homes for the better part of half a century by installing materials that stand the test of time from a team of trusted home pros. Our design team delivers a turnkey experience for your interior or exterior remodeling project, leaving you with a home you love. At Wanakee Remodeling, we'll never stop improving. Right now, get a special window offer. Buy one window, get one 40% off plus special financing. Visit WanakeeRemodeling.com for more.
No question, I want to spend these months at home with hospice care from A Grace so I can be with my dog and my grandkids and their laughter. A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Have you ever been challenged, been tried, made a pact with your own limits? Have you been here, there, places no one should go? If you have, then you know that whatever you're capable of, so are we. No wonder Ford SUVs lead in brand loyalty. Choose FlexBuy on a new 2024 Ford Edge. Pick up 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus $1,000 FlexBuy cash and $1,000 low APR cash.
Culligan Water takes pride in being your local water experts. We live here, work here, and dedicate our lives to improving our area's water. We deliver the world's best water treatment and the industry's best service to you. Culligan Water, your local water experts.
Now's the time for a new Leisure Concepts hot tub, so check out this amazing special purchase. This 6x7 foot hot tub seats 4 adults beautifully, has a powerful 3-horse jet pump, LED lights, 24 stainless steel jets, and a thick winterproof cover. The best part, right now it's just $59.95, and that includes delivery and training. Just $59.95 for all this. Get to Leisure Concepts ASAP and get yours delivered now.
Time for Knock Star! Ready or not, the Jennifer Hudson Show is pulling up. Hi, Nicole! It's me, Jennifer! I would've worn my good wig.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Another night of America playing. Who wants to be a billionaire, Eric Franke?
I do.
In the last 15 minutes, the numbers for tonight's estimated $1.55 billion Powerball jackpot were drawn. Here they are. Eric, get that ticket out. 16, 34, 46, 55, 67, and that Powerball of 14. My car's running. Let's go. Oh, tonight's prize would be the third largest in the game's history if it gets claimed. No one has matched all 6 numbers since July 19th, and if nobody does it tonight, well, we're going to draw again on Wednesday night. A Sun Prairie family is going all out for Halloween once again this year. You will find their home along Silverado Drive in Sun Prairie, decorated to the fullest for the spooky season. The Voken family has been doing this for years, but continue to make it bigger and better every year. The Halloween display goes on at about 5:30 at night, lasting until 10 o'clock, and you can check it out now through the end of the month.
A proposed Madison School District budget amendment would allow more students to be referred to a successful alternative education program. Operation Fresh Start is a program that helps those 16 to 24 become self-sufficient through mentoring programs, education, and employment training. In the past, MMSD has used per pupil tax revenue to fund the program, but this school year it presented Operation Fresh Start with a 52% budget cut. Caseworkers and school counselors can refer students to the program. Right now, that's happening at a record rate. The proposed amendment would restore $117,000 of funding, which would go a long way for Operation Fresh Start.
We match each dollar put into this partnership by the school district at about a 3-to-1 ratio. So this budget amendment from the school district provides 3 times additional money to helping those young people succeed.
And since its start back in 1970, Operation Fresh Start has helped more than 9,000 adults with a path to self-sufficiency. Babies and toddlers with developmental delays are entitled to publicly funded therapies known as early intervention, but stagnant pay and an increased cost of living mean many healthcare providers can no longer afford to participate in the program. Almost all states have reported early intervention staffing shortages. Experts say the situation has become critical post-pandemic.
And as a parent, it's somewhat infuriating to know that, you know, something could be going on with your child, medically speaking, that's causing these delays, that's causing these problems.
Experts also say children having their adulthood potential limited when they aren't being helped at a young age. One of the country's biggest makers of paper products is also a reliable producer of preemie diapers.
The Kimberly-Clark manufacturing plant in Neenah is coming up on an impressive milestone. It all started 10 years ago when Kimberly-Clark partnered with NICU nurses to improve preemie diapers. In that time, they've made a lot of progress and even more diapers.
We are getting ready to celebrate our 30 millionth diaper ever produced. That's very exciting, 30 million diapers.
This is Kimberly-Clark's only facility making these preemie diapers, which are worn by babies who weigh 6 pounds or less. So could flag football become an Olympic sport? It is possible. Organizers for the 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Summer Games delivered a proposal today to put flag football on the program. The International Olympic Committee will vote on that proposal later this week, which also includes baseball and softball, lacrosse, squash, and cricket. The NFL has been pushing for worldwide exposure, and flag football would help the league achieve that, which is looking for ways to grow both participation and audience beyond the U.S. and Western Europe. Jacob Montesano is back now with another check of our first warn forecast.
Yeah, these fall-like temperatures, they're definitely here to stay, but we also have a good chance of rain for the end of the week, and temperatures are actually going to be so cool the next couple of days that overnight lows could possibly get close to freezing. We have that frost advisory in effect for parts of our area, and in general, high temperatures are going to stay in the 50s for much of the next 10 days, and then we are watching that heavy rain potential for Thursday and especially Friday. Here's a look at the frost advisory once again in effect for south central and southwestern Wisconsin from 1 a.m. until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we are going to see those temperatures drop into the 30s. Some places could get to freezing, but as I mentioned earlier in the show, temperatures don't necessarily have to get to freezing for frost to form. They could be 5 to 10 degrees above freezing to produce some frost, and that's what we're we're going to see tonight with temperatures dropping into the 30s with clear skies and calm winds. High temperatures tomorrow are going to be in the middle to upper 50s, maybe a tad bit warmer for some locations, but in general, we are going to see much of the same. It is going to be a bit cloudier the further you get to the lake, and also the further north and east you're located, it will be a bit cloudy up there. Now, talking about the rainfall, this is fast forwarding a bit. Not going to see any rain for tomorrow or most of Wednesday, but late Wednesday night, I should say, and into Thursday, we are going to see that system move into our area with some showers on Thursday, but then as we get to Friday, that's when we're going to see a bit heavier rain. It is possible we could see a few storms out of this system, but in general, we're mostly going to see some showers, but some of these showers could produce some heavy rain at times, and it also could last for quite some time as well. The rain looks to continue throughout all of Friday night into Saturday morning, and then by Saturday afternoon, we are going to see the rain clear out of our area. Should be dry by Saturday evening, and then for Sunday, we are looking pretty dry beyond that. So as far as precipitation goes, we're going to see possibly over 2 inches of rain for really our entire area. That's definitely in the ballpark. These specific numbers are definitely subject to change because it's still a few days out, but prepare for rain nonetheless, especially on Friday. If you have any plans on Friday, if they're outdoor plans, I would suggest possibly moving or canceling them because Friday definitely could be a washout. Now, the chance of rain is going to be equal for Thursday, but it's not expected to be quite as heavy on Thursday, but rain is still likely. And then really from Thursday during the day and Friday night, rain is expected to continue. Now, here's a look at our weather photo of the day sent in from Lone Rock. This was sent in by Anita Reese, so thank you, Anita. Now, here's a look at the 10-day forecast. We are going to see high temperatures in the 50s for much of the next 10 days, really all the next 10 days, although Wednesday this week and Wednesday next week, we may be in the 60s, but nothing to what we were at times last week. Overnight lows will also warm up throughout the week, so we're not going to see temperatures dropping into the 30s all week, but then they're going to possibly drop into the 30s by the middle of next week as air will be a bit drier then.
Still to come in sports, the Packers fall in a Sin City heartbreaker. We've got the full highlights coming up next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
At Stanton Optical, you can stop waiting forever for an appointment. Same-day eye exams and walk-ins are always available. I wish other things would happen as fast. Get 2 pairs of free eye exam and anti-glare lenses for only $79.
At Foster Funeral and Cremation Services, we honor legacies. Let us take care of the arrangement so you can focus on saying goodbye. Veteran-owned and operated. Experience exceptional care and affordable service with Foster Funeral and Cremation Services.
Who's always behind the scenes helping parents and caregivers find quality-rated childcare that fits their family's needs? DCF. We're your trusted source in support of quality childcare. Learn more at qualitychildcare.wi.gov.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland.
As in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor. Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
The Friends of the Middleton Performing Arts Center presents Through the Years with the Kenny Rogers Band, featuring Don Gatlin. Saturday, October 21st at 7:30. Tickets available online now.
We've got questions about Medicare plans.
Well, we've got a lot of answers. How can I help?
Well, for starters, do you have a Medicare plan I can actually afford?
How about a plan with a $0 monthly premium?
Well, that's a great start. What other benefits can we get?
Things like dental, vision, and hearing. But let me help you pick the plan that's right for you.
Don't wait. Call 1-800-AETNA for you to get answers to your questions and pick a plan that's right for you. And let's make healthier happen together.
Are you searching for a fresh career? Then join the team at Chalk D Building Systems.
We're expanding, now with 2 Sun Prairie locations, and we're looking for individuals to join our team as assemblers, material handlers, order pickers, and machine operators. Chalk T Building Systems competitive pay starts at $22 per hour plus comprehensive benefits. 3 shifts are available with overtime potential, and you'll become part of our 100% employee-owned team. Make your next career move on the careers page at chalkt.com.
Planning a remodel? Don't toss your cabinets, furniture, and appliances. Donate to Habitat Restore. Your items stay out of landfills while proceeds create housing solutions for hardworking families. Build a stronger community with Habitat Restore of Dane County.
Welcome to Too Good to Guess. Can you guess how much 2 pairs of progressives, a free eye exam, and anti-glare lens upgrade will cost at Stanton Optical? Only $135? Wow, a deal so good, every customer wins. Book your eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
Tonight's Packers game, believe it or not, is their only game in a 23-day stretch. Ahead of their bye week, the Green and Gold were in Sin City tonight, taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Packers try to get over 500 on the season. Third quarter, Raiders lead at 10-3. A.J. Dillon in for the injured Aaron Jones. Touchdown, Green Bay. Dillon bulldozes the defensive line and ties the game up at 10 apiece. And then just a few minutes later, Love trying to finally get some big yardage, buying time, heaves it up, and that will work. Christian Watson in space. He is dangerous. Watson goes 77 yards, and the Pack would take the lead on a field goal. But then in the game's final minutes, Green Bay trailing 17-13. Jordan Love with a chance at playing hero. He launches one for the end zone. Can he get it? It's intercepted. That would end the Packers' chances and spell a night that they'd rather forget in Las Vegas. The Raiders win it by a final score of 17-13, and the Pack dropped to 2-3 on the year, entering their bye week. Love finished with a trio of interceptions, while A.J. Dillon had his best game of the year. These next 3 weeks may very well decide Wisconsin's football season, and the pivotal stretch kicks off with rivalry week. The 4-1 Badgers host the Hawkeyes for the Battle of the Bull on Saturday. And while Luke Fickell may be new to Wisconsin, he has sure studied Wisconsin's rivalries, specifically mentioning Iowa and Minnesota, and studied them inside and out. He said that this past spring, his staff and his team all studied these rivalries together over and over.
I told somebody this morning that I just in case you guys weren't, I'm a traditionalist. So if you want to ask about rivalries are really, really, really important to me. And they always have been, just the way I grew up. I truly believe that respect the rival, you got to do a lot of work. And you got to understand when you're walking into something, you know, the history behind it and the meaning behind it and what, you know, what's going to be a little bit different in those games.
Back on September 17th, Wisconsin volleyball was trailing 2-0 on the road against number 3 Florida. The Badgers came all the way back and won that match in 5 sets, but since then, they have won 21 straight sets. The nation's #1 team is 15-0 on the season and look nearly unbeatable. Bucky is 6-0 in the Big Ten and will play at Rutgers on the 13th, so you got to ask, is this streak on their minds?
Do we want to go and win 3-0? Yeah, I think that's certainly something that we would like to do. We don't ever talk about it. It's not here. Let's go in and let's win 3-0 or let's win 3-1 or hey, let's something like that. It's just let's go play really good volleyball and let's try to do that for longer periods of time than our opponents do.
To the girls' high school state golf tournament in Division I, Waunakee and Middleton enter day 2 in the top 5, and reigning champ Izzy Stricker is in first place, while in Division II, Jefferson and Lancaster are in the mix. We'll be right back.
At Lawton Cates, your life counts is more than just a slogan. It's connecting you with top medical specialists after a serious injury. It's holding the insurance company responsible for your lost wages and your hospital bills. It's a guarantee that we'll be with you every step of the way and won't accept anything less than the maximum payment you deserve. We'll speak with you for free, and there's no fee until we get results for you. Your life counts. Lawton Cates. Call us today.
Look, Mom, I found one. Oh, yeah, you did, but we need an ATM from our bank, unless you want to spend a small fortune in fees.
No, thank you. Banking with BMO means more fee-free ATMs than the 2 largest U.S. banks combined, including places like pharmacies and grocery stores.
Saving money and more convenient. Look at you being so helpful.
What'd you expect? You're studying at a help stop.
That's you.
That's me, at a desk.
When a bank helps you get and stay ahead, that's the BMO effect.
This is you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care. Because the way you, and you feel matters. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health, know how much you matter to this world.
Hy-Vee Fuel Saver is now Hy-Vee Perks. Hy-Vee Perks members get members-only prices on hundreds of products store-wide every day. Get your free Hy-Vee Perks membership and start saving today. Bananas, H-Perks price 39 cents a pound. Hy-Vee Butter, H-Perks price $2.98. And Tide Liquid Laundry Detergent, H-Perks price $9.97. Make the switch or sign up today. It's free and easy.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Solving the child care crisis, Thursday at 10.
Tonight on The Late Show, I talk with Arnold Schwarzenegger, just two former world-class bodybuilders, now mostly known for other stuff.
New tonight on CBS.
And Jacob's back. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, if you like the fall-like weather, you're in luck. That's going to continue. We do have a good chance of rain for the end of the week, especially Thursday night into Friday, where we could possibly see some heavy rain at times, although it will mostly be in the form of some heavy showers. Some storms are possible, but not as likely. For next week, we'll be mostly dry with some breezy conditions Tuesday, and overnight lows will drop again, possibly into the upper 30s. But in general, fall-like weather is going to continue with the rain Thursday and Friday.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Thanks for joining us at 10, folks.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.